And welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. This is a very cool little item that I picked up a couple of years ago. There was a guy posting on the Killer List of Video Games forums, that's KLOV for short. He posted to a fellow out in China that's making these neon signs, and I really love this thing. So I'm just going to fire it up here and show you. It must look a little bit hard to make out right now, but you recognize this? That's right, it's the Recognizer from Tron. These were made, as I say, in China for a very reasonable price tag, I gotta say. I think I maybe paid, it was early in the production run, I think it was 120 bucks. And then I think because everybody was inundating the maker of these with requests, I think he had to up the price a little. So I think it's 150 bucks now, but I'll put a link in the description below as to the original posting on KLOV as well as where you can buy these now. It's fantastic. It was not actually mounted on this frame. I did that myself, and I'm going to cut now to a variety of pictures of just how exactly I did that. So this is what the Tron Recognizer sign looks like when it's not mounted. And what I did is basically I just took a picture frame I got from a local store. That's the back of it, the matting. And this is the front where you would put that around whatever photograph or painting you have, and the whole thing would go into a frame. So essentially what I did is I took the neon sign and I made sure on the black mat on the back of it that it would be centered properly. That gave me an idea where I wanted the holes to be. And then once I had the holes, I just basically put a screwdriver through the metal rack and then punched all of that through both the black matting and that white cardboard frame that you saw. With that, I was then able to just put some screws through the metal rack and then through both layers of the black matting and the frame. And it actually turned out pretty good. I managed to get the whole thing nicely centered, and I'm very pleased with the result. And then basically I just put the frame on. It's like the whole thing is backwards, but this is what you end up with. And I was pretty happy with the end result. I don't know a lot about neon signs. I assume this is normal. You can kind of make it out here though. There's some little prongs here, and that's the outer limit of where the sign is. And then you got two power supplies here and a cord, and it's all self-contained. So basically, I got this piece here in the post, and it was very well packaged. I really got to give the maker of these signs thumbs up for doing a good job of shipping what is a very delicate item. And again, it came all the way from China, so he did a good job. It got to me in one piece, and it's been working great. I've had it a couple of years. Never had any issues with it. Okay, maybe there is one minor issue, and I've done a little time lapse or editing here. Sometimes if the neon sign hasn't been turned on for a while, some of the neon, especially up in this top area, is actually, it'll be faded and it may not even look like it's going to turn on. But that's nothing to be worried about. If you get one of these and you find that some of the elements do not turn on, just give it time. Now I'll cut to that little time lapse here right now. Well, now here is the Tron Recognizer sign, and it hasn't been turned on for a while, so it's actually going to be a little faded, but not to worry, that does actually correct. Let me show you what I mean. I'm turning it on now. And you see how the top is very dim looking? Sometimes it's even worse than that. But if you just wait for a few minutes, I'm going to do a little time lapse or a little cutting out here. But this will improve in time. Have a look. And the good news is that now that it's been 15 minutes later, we have a fully glowing Tron Recognizer neon sign. It looks completely back to normal. There you go. It will turn back on if you give it enough time. And 15 minutes isn't really too bad. Just, I find if I've got parties going on and I want to show this thing off, I'll turn it on a good half hour before people are about to arrive. and by the time they do, it's glowing away. It's great. Interesting thing about neon, it's not warm. None of these, like, I'm not gonna stick my hand on these, but I can tell you there's no temperature coming off these things at all. I think, I can't remember if this is the type of glass that they recommend. You don't want to touch with your hands because the oil on your hands might cause it to fray after a time. I can't remember. One recommendation I would make, though, if you've got cats like I do, you want to make sure this thing is well out of their reach. You don't want them sniffing or biting any of these cords or anything like that. But there it is, the Tron Recognizer neon sign. It's fantastic, worth the money, and I just love it. It's a great addition to my little home arcade here. And we'll see you down the rabbit hole.